playing in the Boom Boom Room with Ron Slay. Georgia great, you know what I mean? All SEC performer, SEC legend, the list goes on and on. But we're taking a journey, you know, through his life, you know what I mean, where ball is taking him, you know what I mean, the obstacles he's come through. Lost his father at an early age, you know what I mean? Mom gathered everybody up, took him to Georgia, went to Marietta, Wheeler High School.
Yes, sir.
Played with some greats. You said you met Deion Glover. Tell me about, you know, when you guys met at the Boys and Girls Club, man, the type of, because I'm a Boys and Girls Club kid too, you know what I mean?
No question.
And the impact that the Boys and Girls Club had on me, man, is endless. You know what I mean? I can't put a price on it or anything. So talk about that community growing up in the Boys and Girls Club and the influence it had on you before we even get to the high school.
Man, you know what? The Boys and Girls Club was just like a second home, man. Sometimes you really probably spent more time there than you spent at your own home. But man, just, you know, showing you life skills, you know what I'm saying? Showing you, you know, you really look at kids now, you look at, you know, from the sports perspective. Man, I realize, you know, when you leave the Boys and Girls Club and places like that, you know every rule to every game. You know what I'm saying? I don't just know the rules to basketball. I know the rules to kickball. I know the rules to baseball. I know the soccer. You know what I'm saying? Hey, we know it now. You ask a kid what's the rule, they don't. You know what I'm saying? So they expose you and make you understand like it's bigger than one thing. Like multitask, know everything. Like, you know, being around different, you know, types of kids and different adults who can really show you and really take you. Everybody who worked there was like a mentor. They was mentoring everybody there. So it was lovely, man. And Glover was good to me because I just came out of Indiana, you know what I'm saying? And I didn't know anybody. And, you know, I'm looking at this guy, man, he was unbelievable. He was the same player at 9 than he was at 18. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just up under his wing, like, let me learn a little bit. You know what I'm saying? He was gracious enough to show me, and it was a blessing to, you know, when you first come off the porch, you first get off the bus or whatever, you meet a pro. You know what I'm saying? That you know that's gonna play at the highest level. So that was a blessing in itself. But you know, the Boys and Girls Club, man, that's second to none, man. Like that really instills values in you, goals in you, and really helps you, you know, get along with others and really translate yourself to for your dreams. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So moving on to high school, man. You come into high school, you got to play with the great Sharif Abdul-Rahim, you know what I mean, learn under his tutelage. You talked a little bit about your coach, his influence that he had on the team. Talk about, man, you touched on it with talking about the Arby's Classic up in Bristol. Now, from my point of view, y'all, when we saw y'all, so we lost my junior year, we had a pretty good year. We lost 3 games, one to a local team here at Hillsborough High School. Then we lost one in the state semifinal. And the third one was to you guys. So I remember sitting in the stands watching y'all. I'm like, man, we done played some good teams, man. But I remember the cat Dixon. Man.
Right, Antoine, no question. High flying, that's my brother, no question about it.
Hey, man, the whole time I'm thinking, I got a battle on my hands. You know what I mean? I'm going to take it upon myself. I talk so much, I got to take it upon myself to take out whoever in the front court. Let the guards deal with you or whatever you got going on. But this is my matchup.
I got it, yeah.
Dude, athletic, got a nice touch, you know what I mean? Finish around the rim. I'm like, boy, this is going to be a battle right here, man. Y'all gave everything we was looking for, man.
Hey, man, it was a true battle, man. Like, that was out of our senior year, man. You know, we lost. I think we ended up losing, 2 games. We lost to a local team, and then we lost in the state tournament to a team, first round, actually. But just all in all, to be honest with you, man, playing you guys, man, that may have been a battle of the year for us. You know what I'm saying? Even though we came out victorious, man, that was high level basketball. You know what I'm saying? We both played with pride. You guys played with pride and played with heart and passion. But hey, man, that was a great game and a great tournament. So, you know, I loved it, man.
We had a guy, he's like a mentor, local legend around here, Cal, who always took the books for us. And he was, at that time, you know what I mean, there wasn't no social media for you viewers.
Right.
kids. Wasn't no social media, so you had to do your homework and know who it was you was going against. So we never stayed and watched. We watched one game of y'all's, and then we always went back to the hotel. I remember Calvin got back to the hotel, and it was like, hey, man, D.A., Layne, I'm telling y'all, guard him when he cross half court. You know, we young, we think we the truth. Like, man, we ain't tripping on him. We seen him. Yeah. They ain't playing nobody.
Right.
Man. Right. Was Steph Curry, Dame Lillard, and them cats doing now, this brother was doing that then, DA. Where did you get the confidence to start pulling that deep, man, in games? I understand it pickup and stuff like that, but in games when it matter, tell me a little bit that how'd you build that up, man?
I think it was through my coach, through my high school coach. Like I said, Coach Doug Lipscomb at Wheeler, man, he, you know, I took a couple early, maybe not even my freshman year. I don't even think with Sharif had so much going on with him and trying to make sure we kept him involved and getting things done around him. I don't even think I had the confidence at that. I think maybe the end of my sophomore year, going into my junior year, man, the more I got older and got a little bit more confidence, man, couple games I let it fly, and then the first couple went in. Yeah. You know, and he once you hit them first 2 or 3, he with you. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I think the first few went in for me. He got kind of comfortable with me shooting them, and not only just shooting them in the game, I worked on them, and he worked on them with me. Right. You know, we played horse, pig, and so it wasn't nothing just random. Like, we really worked on the craft, shooting me, him, Antoine, all our guards kind of really shot the ball and practiced and tried to own that craft. So, man, he just said, hey, man, let it fly. I believe in you. I got the confidence in you. And once I knew that he was with me on the sideline, man, I just started launching him, man. So that's how that went. No question.
Hey, boy, well, it was a beautiful sight, man. It's very seldom, man, you get to watch a guy play. It was you that I admired. You, Marcus Maven, and Trent Housen. 3 guys, man, that I didn't ever get to play against Trent, but Trent played AAU with us. We did play against Marcus Maven on my sophomore year in high school, and he was doing the same. That was the first person I ever saw do it. Then I got to see you do it. I'm like, hey, man, where's these dudes out here learning to shoot?
The game, that's what you knew.
It was different.
The game was changing.
It was different. It was different then.
Yes, sir.
It was different.
No question.
You guys go on. Talk about you committing to Georgia, and what go into your decision making in going to Georgia. You know what I mean? I see you stayed home. Who were your other teams that you were looking at, teams that you liked, that you wanted to go to, and what made you get the decision to stay at Georgia?
Well, it's really simple for me. I mean, just like I said, me and my mom, you know, it was just, I'm only child, you know, from my mother. So, you know, just going back to the story, like, man, it was either Georgia or Georgia Tech for me, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, with me and her, you know, so close and us going on this journey and starting this journey together, there was no way I was going to go too far away from her, you know, at that time, you know what I'm saying? So it was, Georgia Tech, man, like Coach Crimmins, you know, he came in and he recruited me hard. Georgia recruited me hard, but it was just something about Georgia, man. They was at every AAU game, every high school game. They stayed on my phone, and and not only that, I think the kicker was not only staying close to home with my mom, but the point of wanting a college atmosphere. You know what I'm saying? I think if I stayed home at Georgia Tech, it was kind of like you still in the city. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wanted to get, even if it was an hour where I wanted to get away and get to a college town. You know what I'm saying? I wanted that vibe. So I think that was a part of it too, man, and just staying close to home. And I really believed in what Georgia had going on. I really seen the vision. Everybody was talking about football, but I seen the vision for basketball. I seen what Tubby Smith done there. And I seen what Ron Jersey, you know, coming from up under Tubby, I really believed in what he could do to keep it going. So that was really, you know, my decision making right there.
And that's a big time decision, man. Especially at that time, Georgia Tech being almost point guard you in a sense.
Right, no question about it.
The history that they got, man. You go down to Athens, you first step on the campus, they already got Your guy Jermaine's already locked and loaded, coming off a great year. You know what I mean? Talk about you stepping on there for the first time. It's a change. You know what I mean? You're still at home, but like you said, you're in Athens. It's a big time college atmosphere. It is what it is. Football is heavy on the brain down there. Talk about changing the culture at Georgia, and how was it for you?
It was, I tell you what, how I got introduced to it. I knew football was heavy, but I didn't really know the magnitude of it. We had our first little autograph signing. It was crazy. We had an autograph signing with all sports, all college, all Georgia sports.
Yeah.
So, we there, Jermaine there, we at the table, and I'm thinking to myself, man, Jermaine is a lottery pick.
Right.
I'm coming in there highly touted.
Right.
They got us set up at the little table. Then I look over, and all the fans, it's about 10,000 fans out there. And you got 9,800 of them over here with the football guys. And our little 200 over here with us at the table, making us feel like we, a little something over here. So that was the first time that I said, you know what? We got to do something about this. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't no knock against football. It wasn't no knock against anybody. But at the same time, it was just like 3,000, saying about the hip hop. Basketball got something to say. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to get this basketball thing with some respect down here. Right. So from then on, that was my freshman year. From then on, man, I was always on the journey and always on the path to get Georgia basketball to that level of respect. But probably never to the level of course, of the football respect, but somewhere in respectable distance. You know what I'm saying? Right. So by the time, I didn't mean to fast forward, but you go from that to our junior year where we had the number one schedule in the country, and we have students camping out. We have tents outside of the gym. You know what I'm saying? People spending the night ready to get ready for the game the next day. So you go from that to get to that level, now you're making some noise. You know what I'm saying? So that was really my whole journey, and that's what was fueling me. Of course, the win, but that fueled me to get that atmosphere going for us as well.
All right, that's what it is. Take me through the journey of your freshman year, because you come in with a team that's very talented. You know what I mean? And how do you fit in with that? Are you taking baby steps? Because Jermaine told the story of you coming in making a splash. You know what I mean? So I like to get in your words. How was it your freshman year?
Man, it was like my freshman year. It was tough on me because I was the only freshman. I think we had another guy, but he ended up redshirting. But I was the only freshman that was playing. I think we had another 2 or 3 guys that was in that recruiting class, but they didn't start till January. So it was me and another guy who was redshirting. So it was really me that was going to be possibly playing start off the season. Right. So and then not only that, I had 2 seniors guards playing in front of me, starters. You know what I'm saying? So I came in with a chip on my shoulder just to kind of get the respect again. You know what I'm saying? From the older guys, from the Jermaines and the seniors that was out there. So I had something to prove, you know what I'm saying, from day one. So, I was just out there fighting and crawling, trying to get through preseason. You know how preseason is. You got to get through that before you can even prove what you could do on the court. So it was one of those things, man. And, like I said, all those guys was proven. They had been through 3 preseasons. They knew what, getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning was, running miles on the track. And that was my only thing, man, when I got to college basketball that I kind of didn't understand. You know what I'm saying? Because preseason conditioning was cool. I understand you need it, but it wasn't court conditioning. It was more track. It was more track and field. I didn't think that done anything for it. You have to be in basketball shape. Right. So I felt like it wasn't. It didn't make sense. And then those same guys who were sprinting and running up and down the track, when you get to the real thing, it's a whole different ball game. Exactly. So it was kind of tricky for me. You know what I'm saying? But I got through it, and I just had to show and prove. When I got out there on that court and we started practicing, man, and I think the coaches started kind of finally realized and got to the point where they're like, look, this freshman is really, he balling. You know what I'm saying? And we done with preseason. We done with the with just the real thing. So I think I got through the freshman year. I mean through the freshman preseason, and then Jermaine always tell this story. He says that I came and told one of the seniors, said, "You're gonna be starting right now, but when we get a couple games into the season, it's gonna be my spot."
That's what he
So
told me. That's
I
what
don't
he told
remember
me.
that, but he said that I said that to one of the seniors. But real talk, that's what happened. Like
Right.
maybe 7 or 8 games through the season, coach called me like, listen, it was against Kentucky. So this was Tubby coming back to Georgia after leaving Georgia to go to Kentucky. So he threw me in the starting lineup. And from there, man, I never looked back. You know what I'm saying? We battled them to overtime. We ended up losing by 2, but I had like 25. Right. Jermaine had like 30, and
right.
we put on the show. And from there, man, my career just, kept going from there.
Right. So you got you coming in having a really good freshman season, and y'all have the opportunity. Jermaine has the opportunity left. He talked about, he wanted to come back because he wanted to get in that tournament and really, really make some noise. So I can only imagine what it would have led to. He also told the story of Donnell Harvey having the opportunity that was going to sign with you guys. And I told him, I'm so glad. I'm so glad that didn't happen because, boy, you, Jermaine, and Donnell, hey, dog, woo.
That would have been rough.
Oh, my goodness. Hey, so, man, so you go out of your freshman year, going to your sophomore year, and the dynamics change. Did Coach Harris come in at this point?
Yes, Coach Harris came in coming in my sophomore year. Yes, sir.
All right, so talk about that transition. You switching coaches, and then your mind frame going into your sophomore year with Jermaine leaving, maybe you would have came back. Things didn't go like they were, but what you had to do individually to make sure you on point.
Yeah, that was a tough transition, man. Losing Jermaine, man, losing 20 points, 10 rebounds. You know what I'm saying? That was tough in itself. And then you coming off a good freshman year, you getting SEC Freshman of the Year with Mike Miller, and then you get all freshman team, unanimous and having a great freshman year, but you lose the #1 scorer, and then you lose your coach. You know what I'm saying? Right. So that was a tough transition for me. Then, like I said, we had 4 to 5 seniors that was helping me grow and mature. So it's just really like I just was left out there for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But I just kept working, man, kept my head down. I think the greatest thing that ever happened was bringing Coach Herrick in. You know what I'm saying? Right. Coach Herrick came and he just changed my mentality, got the winning mentality going back for me again, and understanding that it's all about winning more than anything. You know what I'm saying? Playing the game the right way, being fundamentally sound, getting your teammates involved, being a leader on and off the court. So I think that was the stuff that he had to instill and transition me to at being just a sophomore. You know what I'm saying? So it was a process, man. Like I said, we lost 4 seniors. We lost Jermaine. We had to rebuild from the bottom. We went and got Anthony Evans, Sean Coleman from JUCO. Yep. We had some major battles with them guys. You know what I'm saying? So we went and got them big boys. And man, that sophomore year, they was juniors. They played their butts off. I played my butt off, but we was still about 1 or 2 pieces short of what we needed. You know what I'm saying? And we end up having a rough year, man. That may be my roughest year of basketball. We end up going 10-20. And you know how the SEC go, man. Like, ain't no love. You know what I'm saying?
And don't nobody care that you lose. Don't nobody feel sorry for you.
There you go. No. We're going to punish you. We coming in there. I don't care if you lost 8 in a row. You're going to lose 9 in a row tonight. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's how it was. So I had to understand that. We had to take them lumps. And we did it. It was stressful, but we got through it. So we ended up going 10-20, bro. We went 10-20, and it was a rough one. But Coach Herrick just kept us motivated and told us just stay with it. You know what I'm saying? Everything gonna work itself out. He implemented the guard cut offense, which was great for me. Fundamentally sound, coming off screens, coming off down screens, and pick and roll. So it was cool. I was happy. You know what I'm saying? I could see it. Even though we worked 10-20, I could see the future. You know what I'm saying? I could say, hey, we continue to work and add a couple of pieces. We could compete with y'all guys. You know what I'm saying? The Tennessees and the Floridas, who was at the top of you guys was at the top of the conference at that point. So that's what we're trying to get to. So in Kentucky. So that's where it was. But it was a tough year, but we got through it. Got through it for sure.
And you can see, man, the courts are changing. You can see a winning mentality coming. You know what I mean? And like you said, y'all took some lumps through that season. You ended up being all SEC again, back-to-back all SEC performer going into your junior year. Sophomore year led your team in scoring, top of the league in scoring, average 18, 19 a game. So getting ready to go into your junior year, are you hearing the rumblings? You know what I mean? By this time, you know what I mean? The league calling, you hearing the chatter. You know what I mean? Tell me what that was like dealing with that, and then trying to stay level-headed at the same time, knowing it's a bigger goal in mind going into junior year.
I honestly, man, I don't know if actually after my sophomore year, I put my name in the hat, you know, and I think that was just from the stress of the season.
Right.
You know, being all SEC, you know, and averaging the league and scoring that year, but we only won 10 games, so it really didn't mean much in the big scope of the league. And
right.
You know, league want to be around winners, and they want to be around, you know, people who at least make the tournament, you know, and get that kind of, you know what I'm saying, get that kind of light on them. So I didn't understand. I think Coach Herrick sat me down and kind of broke it down to me, and we both agreed, hey, come back, work on your game, you know, be a better facilitator, be a better point guard, be a better leader, you know, and I agreed with that, and I think that's what I needed to work on. So I ended up coming back for my junior year, you know what I'm saying, and best decision I ever made. Got back junior year, we started off, kind of think we ended up losing to Georgia State out the gate at home. You know, Coach Herrick was upset. He couldn't believe, and we couldn't believe. You know, Georgia State was considered a mid-major at that point, but they had so many transfers, guys from LSU, from around the country, that they really put together a top-level team. And I think we underestimated them a little bit, and they jumped on us out the gate. So we started off. I think we ended up, and then we went up to Minnesota. We struggled up there. I think we ended up losing at the buzzer up there. So we started off 0-2. You know what I'm saying? We was 0-2 in starting off that season, but we had the pieces. We had everything in play. We just got started off slow. But the junior year it turned. You know what I'm saying? Probably after that third or fourth game, I think we went out to Puerto Rico for the Puerto Rican shootout, and everything turned for us, man. You know, we kind of start gelling. We ended up knocking off Rick Majerus in Utah out there. Rest in peace to the great Rick Majerus. We ended up playing Indiana State, which was a great team at that time, and we played Stanford with Casey Jacobson and them guys in the championship game. So we did make it to the championship game out there in Puerto Rico, and we just kept grinding. We ended up losing to them probably about 4 or 5 in the championship game, but after that, I think we start really feeling like, hey, we could be a good team this year. You know what I'm saying? And Coach Herrick put us in position to play. We played everybody in the country, not even talking about our tough SEC schedule, which SEC was the #1 hardest conference in the country that year. You know what I'm saying? That was the toughest conference in the country. We was battling. You know, them was wars back then. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, top to the bottom. So we ended up, you know, having some battles with you guys. You guys was what, top 5, top 10 in the country that year. We played you guys tough twice that year. I think we ended up splitting. I think we ended up splitting.
Y'all beat us at Georgia. We beat you guys at
There you go. Y'all beat us at there you go. And I tell you what, I always say this about you, man, like, through my career, you may have the nastiest dunk I've ever seen through my SEC career. Man, you caught my small forward Adrian Jones lacking.
He made Sports Center help me make Sports Center.
I tease him to this day. Hey, you caught him lacking coming down that middle, man, and he tried to take the charge. It was too late. You had took flight.
It was over.
And it was an air one situation, man. That was the nastiest dunk of my career, bro. I always gonna give you credit for that one. Like,
no doubt.
Yeah, that was the one. That was the one.
That's real. That's real.
Yeah, man. So those are just the wars and the battles we had, but we always, you know, uplifted each other and always was trying to push each other to greatness, man. You guys with Tony Harris and you guys and your whole squad down there. Y'all had a great squad too, but we ended up having the #1 schedule in the country that year. We went 16-14, and I think to this day we may be the only 16-win team to ever get into the NCAA tournament. You know what I'm saying? That's just how strong our conference was and how strong that our schedule was. And we got in with 16 wins. You know what I'm saying? So that junior year, man, and I think I ended up averaging maybe 17 points, 5 assists, and maybe 4 rebounds. Was first team All SEC that year, and we ended up making the NCAA tournament, and we got beat by Missouri at the buzzer the first round of the NCAA tournament. Yep.
Man, so
that was that junior year, bro.
Yeah. Now talk about real quick. Talk about that what it was like making the tournament, man. Because that's for these kids out of here that are one and dones and really don't get to. I know we're in a pandemic right now, so they missed the tournament last year. But talk about that feeling, man, of the NCAA tournament, the hype around it. What was that like for you first getting into that tournament,
man? Man, that was like a dream, man. I mean, you wake up, man, and you like, man, I'm here. Like I done seen the Fab Five. I done seen, you know, Magic and Bird. You know, I done seen everybody in this tournament right here. You know what I'm saying? As a kid growing up, so it was a blessing, man, just to be a part of it. You know, you get down. We went a couple hours away to Greensboro, North Carolina, and you know, you get there, you see the lights, you see, you know, media, but it's not media like the NCAA media. So you seeing, you know, every camera in your face. You know, your coaches getting a little antsy. You know, they watching every move you make sure your shoes tight. So it's a whole different ball game. You know what I'm saying? So, but it was great, man. Just being a part of it, man, and being able to, you know, even though it was one game, you know, just being able to say, hey, look, we made the dance, we played in the dance, and I was a part of this, you know, historic tournament, this historic event. So it was great, man. I loved every minute of it, and to get Georgia from where we came from, like I said, going 10-20, and then turning around, coming back the next year, getting 9 wins in the SEC, and then making the dance with 16 wins. So that was always a blessing.
And see, that's what I was gonna touch on. Like you have a starting point, and then you do the before and now to look where it is, man. And y'all did some amazing things and are coming together as a team, fighting through injuries, fighting through coaching changes. You know what I mean? The culture of football spilling over. Now you look up, what is it, Coleman Coliseum? What is it? What's the name? I forgot the name. Stagnant. Yeah, Stagnant. So so you fall off into that thing, man, and you and now it's packed. I mean, and they just as rowdy in y'all basketball games as the football game. So y'all did a tremendous job changing that.
I appreciate that, man. Appreciate that for sure.
And you set the standard, man, for guys that came after you. You know what I mean? Rashard Rice,
there you go.
Williams, Jarvis Hayes, all those guys. You know what I mean? Yeah. So y'all did a tremendous job.
And I tell you what, them guys really appreciate it and they really respected it. That's why I always got love for them guys, man. Like they always shout you out.
Right.
You know, hey man, these guys set the stage for us and we just trying to take it, you know, to that next level. And which they did. They took it farther than we could ever imagine to take it. So, you know, we appreciate that as well.
That's what it's about, man. The salute to, man, Sean Colvin, man. I ain't really have to battle with Evans that much, but Sean Colvin, boy, golly, that boy was a monster down there, boy. I thought he must have been down in Georgia just eating weights. Like,
hey, man, Sean Coleman was a monster, man. I'm talking about from day one, man. He come in the door, man. Hey, man, I'm a bruiser. Get out my way. And that just wasn't for opponents. That was for us, too.
Everybody.
Get out his way. You know what I'm saying? That just was his mentality, and I really respected it, man. He was a warrior. Him and Big Evans. So those guys really went to war every night, and we strapped it up in that SEC every night for sure.
I love that, man. And that's so you go out of that, man. And before we talk about you stepping away and deciding to enter your name in the draft, man, just talk about the competition. You said the SEC was at a high level, and night in and night out. It's getting back to that point, but I mean from the top to the bottom, and the bottom being this no knock on Vanderbilt, but Vanderbilt was at the bottom at the time. But you had to strap your shoes up tight to go play Vanderbilt, especially at Vanderbilt. You know, with Dan Layne and them guys like Atiba Prater, James Strong, like it was different. You know what I mean? So you playing pros night in and night out, man. No nights off in the SEC. Talk about that competitive level and some of the guys. Give me some of your hardest matchups. You think you went against in the SEC?
Man, I tell you what, man, the SEC, like you said, every night was a battle. Every night, I don't care if it was the bottom tier team or the top tier team, you was gonna get the same battle. It wasn't an easy night. Anybody could be beat on any given night. So you had to strap it up every night. Like you said, that was the closest to the NBA you could get at that point. You know what I'm saying? Not playing in the NBA, you know. So and just really, I tell you what, man, the toughest guy, I tell you what, that guarded me, that I just couldn't. I mean, I had good games, but I couldn't master, you know, a 30. You know, I can get a 30 or you know a 25. But this guy could only get a 15 or a 17. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't get over the hump. You know what I'm saying? So, Keith Bogans, man.
Bogues lock in,
tough.
Man.
Bogues lock in, you know what I'm saying? He was strong, 6'5", he had a strong body, he was tough as nails, and he wasn't playing no games, man. And I really respected him and Tay, you know, and Tay was long, so they used to switch off on me with Tay. That's my guy. I talk to him here and there still now to this day. So I tell you what, those two guys in the Kentucky squad, man, they was tough to get off against, man.
Yes, they were. Yes, they were. Hey, man, salute to both of them, man. I'm going to have both of them on the show soon, man. I just reached out to both.
Yeah, you got to do that. You got to get them guys on the show.
Yeah, I'm going to relay the message, man. No doubt about it, man. That's and the good thing about that, man, like I think looking back on it now, like anytime any of us run into each other, man, it's all love. You know what I mean? People excited to see each other, remembering battles. Yes, and you know what I mean? Like, and that's when we step in the lines, it's different. You know what I mean? We
there you go. There you go.
We were able to separate. You know what I mean? Like you said,
yeah, the two.
Yeah, that's it. Time.
That's it. Big time. That's it. That's what it's about. That's what it's about.
So you decided to step away, man. And, 3-time All-SEC performer. Decided to go in the draft. And talk about that experience. Because I had one similar to that.
It was tough. It was tough, man, because I actually had an interview a couple of months ago, man, and people always ask me that question, but I think it was kind of like what we're going through now. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's just me and my mom's here, and you know, I always give this story. Like I could go into Nike Town back then when we was in school, and you know, your jersey would be for $50 in Nike Town, and you don't even have $50 in your pocket. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So it's the likeness thing, and it's the business of basketball. That's the other thing that I learned when I got to college. Okay, high school, you know, you playing with passion, you playing for your school and playing for pride.
Right.
But in college, when you step on there, you find out that it's a business. It's a business situation. You know what I'm saying? It's not a 4-year scholarship anymore. It's a 1-year renewal every year. If a coach don't like you, or if you're not getting it done, they're moving on to the next guy. So once I learned that part of it and I understood that this is a business, I start looking at it as business. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, if I'm helping sell out the arena, and if you guys are selling my jersey and I'm putting up these points, okay, you don't have my name on it, but it got the number 32 on it, so we know exactly what's going on here. So you kind of look at it like, hey, you know, and my mom called me, she's struggling, we can't pay a bill. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like you get in between a rock and a hard place. So it's kind of like you know, you're in a position where, look, I got to make something happen. You know what I'm saying? So, and I think that was a part of my decision. And not only that, I think 3 years all SEC and just kind of having a great run at it and kind of
in the top conference.
In the top conference in the country, you know what I'm saying? You averaging 18, 5 assists, and you know, you kind of like, hey, listen, let's figure this thing out. You know, it could work both ways. Now, the only thing that it hurt me more than anything was not being able to finish up my degree. You know what I'm saying? You in there 3 years, and the education part, you know, you kind of leave on the table. But that was just the times we was in, man. I think that was the major part of my decision. My mom was in a tough spot, you know, at that point, you know, being without a home and, you know, trying to figure things out. And I'm sitting here like, okay, had a great year, you know, Coach told me this is what I need to do. I checked off all the boxes that he thought that I need to do to make it happen, and I just gave it a shot. You know what I'm saying? And it didn't work out for my best interest, but it made me a better person, better man. You know what I'm saying? I didn't get to that ultimate goal of playing in the NBA, but
Mm-hmm.
shoot, we had to brush ourselves off, dust ourselves off, and keep it moving.
Without a doubt.
Went around the country and played in Spain, played in Colombia, Venezuela, Mexico, China.
Mm-hmm.
So worldly, got to see the world,
Right.
and made a little money at the same time. So,
Right.
it was an experience that I won't change for the world. I think it made me tougher, and it got for me to be able to look at this thing from another lens. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You can also see who in your corner for what reason, who in
Thank
your
you.
corner for another reason.
Thank
You know
you.
what I'm saying? So, and it all worked itself out in the end, man. And
Right.
everybody ain't battle tested to go through what we had to go through that
Facts.
situation. So
Facts.
it's all good. I hate I didn't. I definitely wish I would have been able to play in the league, just to play at the highest level.
Right.
Sometimes it ain't even about the money. It's just
Right.
really to play against your peers that you
Yeah.
played against in college. You know what
Yep.
I'm saying? Like, to know that you can compete at that level. So
Right.
that's really was the most hurtful part about it. But it's all good, man. It's
Yeah.
still blessed, man. Married with 3 kids, man.
Right.
13 years. So I ain't got no complaints, big dog. It's all love,
Ain't
man.
none needed, man. So
There you go.
you know what I
There you
mean?
go.
I want to touch on real quick too about 2 things before I let you go, man. One, like you said, man, a lot of accomplishments over the years. You know what I mean? The ball put in your hands at 2 years old. It takes you around the world. You get to see different cultures. You know what I mean? Change your perspective on a lot of things. Come back, have your family. I want to ask you first about being honored as an SEC legend, man, and what that meant to you. And you got to do it in the state of Georgia. You know what I mean? Tell me how special that was, and when they told you what was going to take place, tell me how you felt and how special it was to you.
Man, it was, man, that may have been one of the best days of my life, man. You know what I'm saying? Just to be recognized not only by your university but by the SEC as a whole as being, one of the greats. You think about, the Shaqs and the
Right.
Pistol Pete Maraviges and the, man, I can go Eric Dampiers and
Right.
Mahmoud Abdul Rauf. I went in with Rauf, you know what I'm saying? Chris Jackson, you know what I'm saying? I
Big
went in with him. And you just sit back and think about all the people that came before you, and think about, the legends that's played in this game, man, and for your name to be mentioned. Tony Delk was one of the guys I went in with as well. You think about, all the people that came and played, and it's just like, hey, my name is up there with them at this point. So it's a blessing, man. That's the full circle moment. You know what I'm saying? When it comes around full circle, and everybody really appreciate what you done, your blood, sweat, and tears that you brought to the university. And not only that they feel like that you are a person off the court that can represent and hold that honor to the highest level, really meant a lot to me as well.
Mm-hmm. That's big time, man. It was it was honor for me. I got the I see you.
My baby right here.
I see you. I got mine sitting over here on the right also.
There you go. You know it.
Hey, yes, sir. Hey, man, that was a huge accomplishment, man. And I had another one after I finished playing. I was able to do, and you were able to do also. Tell me what it was like, man, walking across that stage, getting that degree, man, knowing that you finished up. How did that make you feel?
Man, that was the ultimate. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love my basketball accomplishments, and my grandmother was definitely, was number one right there with my mom, man. I didn't mention my grandma early, but she stayed back in Indiana, man. She was in a wheelchair since I was born with rheumatoid arthritis, man. And we was just like, every summer when I moved to Atlanta, but every summer when we out for school, I went back to Indiana and I stayed with her throughout the summer just to help take care of her and, work on my game and do different things. But, that was a promise I made to her, that I would go back and get my degree before she passed. You know what I'm saying? So, and I really had to uphold that and really have to had to stand on that, and I wanted to do that anyway. But that feeling, the ultimate feeling, man, is walking across that stage, man, and getting that degree. Like it's nothing better. You know what I'm saying? You thought the NCAA days was the key. You thought playing overseas and doing all this was nothing like the degree, man. They can't take that from you. You know what I'm saying? So I really, really appreciated that for sure.
Ain't no doubt, man. I had the same feeling, man. And I remember sitting there like, man, what's all this hype about, man? You know what I mean? And then when you get up to the stage and they call your name and you walk across, man, I felt like I was crying and everything. I'm like, yeah.
There you go.
It was wild, man.
That's it.
Great accomplishment,
yes,
man.
Sir.
You know what I mean? Great accomplishment. Because there's a lot of people that don't get the opportunity to do that. You know what I mean? And that's something that I think we should all do, stressing education like that, man. You know what I mean? Tell me a little bit real quick, man, about In the Layne, man.
Man, my In the Layne Sports, man, is my baby, man. It's my company, man. We founded it in maybe 2013, 2014, right around the same time I walked across the stage and got the degree. Started off with a basketball camp going back to Wheeler High School. I went to high school at and doing kids basketball camp in the summer from ages 9 through 14. This would have been our 8th year, man, but with COVID, it kind of threw us off a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Right. Excuse me, it'd be our 7th year. Yeah, with COVID, it threw us off a little bit. So we canceled everything. We have a basketball tournament. We have a back to school. We give out 400 book bags to less fortunate kids, stuff the bags, and do all different things in the community to kind of help the community. So the kids can't back to school. We have the all-star game, high school all-star classic, which we do boys and girls, the top seniors in the state of Georgia, boys and girls. Nice. So we do that as well. So it's just a culmination, like I said, the full circle. So you figure all the kids, some of the top kids that went to our basketball skills camp and been through our basketball back to school rallies would be some of our kids that we culminate and honor them at a high school all-star classic.
Right.
So it's just, just to keep it going and keep it community oriented, man, and just to kind of, give back. I think that's our whole thing, and that's our whole initiative with that. We're moving on to be In the Layne products coming soon. We have basketballs coming. We have bags coming. So we're turning into a real lifestyle brand and a real sports brand, and we're just trying to move forward with it, man, and give back to the community.
That's heavy, man. You let me know anything I can do, man. You know what I mean? Anywhere I can be a part or support, you let me know, man. I got you. So before we get
out there, I appreciate it, man.
Let me give you some quick hitters, man. Quick hitters real quick. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Give me, you already said Bogus was a tough matchup for you. 5 guys that you would like to play with that you didn't play with, wasn't in your conference, pros, whatever it may be. If you could put a team together, 5 guys, you the coach. You gotta take yourself out. 5 guys, give me who they would be. Yeah, you on the spot.
Period. 5 guys.
Period. It don't matter. They can be local legends. You know what I mean? Ain't nobody never saw. It can be anything. You name it.
Well, I mean, I'm going with AI at my point.
Okay.
MJ at my 2.
Okay.
I'm going with, and I'm a regular joker, man. I'm going with the elite. I'm going Pippen at my 3.
I like it.
I'm going with. I tell you, this might be a tricky one, but I know you got Barkley and Duncan and all those guys. But I'm going with the big ticket at my 4.
That's my boy. I'm rocking with KG all day, every day.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. I'm going with the ticket at the 4, man. And and of course our fellow SEC legend and Hall of Fame. I'm going with Diesel at my 5. You know what I'm saying? That's me. That's me right there, man. So that's my 5, big dog. Yeah,
I love it. All right, so now give me 5 people you want at dinner with you. 5 people you want at dinner, dead or alive.
5 people at dinner. Of course, the great Tupac gonna be there first and foremost. President Barack Obama.
Beautiful.
Yeah, Barack Obama and Mrs. Obama gonna be. What's up, buddy? Mrs. Obama gonna be there. That's 3. I got 2 more.
Got 2 more. You got 2 more.
The great Dr. Martin Luther will be in the building.
Beautiful.
You know, and I'm going with Bill Clinton, baby.
Hey man, that conversation is gonna be so great. It's gonna have to be a videographer at that meal, man. You got to get that one on video, man. You got to get that one on video.
Yeah, we document, man. We hitting all ways with them 5 right there.
Without a doubt. So last thing, man. I'm coaching the private school here in Nashville. So I always stress in training a little bit. I always stress the kids how important it is to tap into your resources. You know what I mean? Like ask questions. You know what I mean? Like you said, you got to tutor yourself up under Sharif Abdul-Rahim, a pro. You know what I mean? Also with Deion Glover and other people that you met along the way. But I try to tell kids, man, you got to know your history and you got to be able to tap into your resources. You know what I mean? It will fall on deaf ears and be, in a sense, dumb if you were coaching or training the kid and you're a 3-time All-SEC performer and they don't ask you any questions about the game. Just talk about, in general, how important it is to tap into your resources as a kid, being able to be around those type of people.
Man, it's the biggest key. I mean, like, you know, you can only grow and only move with what you can see. You know what I'm saying? Like being able to tap into, like you say, SEC legends. You know, even with our skills camp, you know, we have former NBA guys and pros that come up there and talk to kids. I remember being able to, you know, go to camps and talk to pros. Man, that means a lot. You know, just to even if they don't give you a gym, just being around and being exposed. Okay, this person played on TV, or this person is playing against Michael Jordan, or playing, you know, doing different, like that inspires you. You know what I'm saying? And that's what you look at. I mean, even if you have a group of 50 kids, you're looking for inspiration. You know, even if you touch one, you know what I'm saying? You never know what that could turn into. So that's the whole key. Like just and everybody don't get that. You know, everybody's not lucky enough to be with legends or be with pros, and you know, so. For us to be able to put that platform together is the blessing in it all. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt about it, man.
And second of all, I want to say I was sending prayers to you guys out in Nashville, man, about the tragedy, man. Really sorry to hear that, man, and hopefully everything will work out. But definitely sending prayers you guys' way for sure.
No doubt. We got the community rallying around each other, man, and luckily it was no fatalities. You know what I mean? Just people.
Right. Definitely.
So that's the fortunate thing, man. But I appreciate it, DA, man. I'm gonna let you get back to your Sunday with the fam. Salute to your wife. Till I ain't gonna take too much time with kids. You know what I mean?
Man, no, it's all good, man. Salute, my brother. Let's definitely stay in touch, man. And
definitely.
We actually need to put together an SEC day or put something together. We can all get together and reminisce, man. So, as a matter of fact, let's work on that.
That's what we're working on. That's what we're working on. It's going to be up here in Nashville.
There you go.
Together. We're going to do that.
There you go.
Definitely. I appreciate you, my brother. It's all love, man.
Prayers up. All love, man. Salute, my brother.
All right, we'll be in touch, man.
You know it.
Bet.
All right, brother.
All right. Stay easy. Yep.